What's going on, Trollomaniacs? Welcome back to the channel, and today I've got a new little inside scoop on my latest collecting trend. I have for some reason been looking for steelbooks. When I go on looking for games, it's typically a certain game or a certain system, but lately I've been looking for steelbooks. I don't know what it is, they just get me a little happy. And today I want to talk to you about some of the steelbooks in my collection and alternative game cases. Is that even a thing? Alternative game cases? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's talk about steelbooks. If you're a game collector, you're really in a league of your own already, and then within that league, there's these different tiers. Some want to go for complete sets, some want to go complete in box, some want to go for the PAL, the North America. It doesn't really matter, but for me, I've really kind of collected for the OG Xbox, the PS2, and then because modern consoles, I've got a lot of PS4, Switch games, Xbox One. But lately, I've been collecting cases, like steelbooks. And this really started about a year ago. I grabbed one, and at the time, I didn't really care. But then over the last 6 months or so, I've been actively looking for steelbooks. Now, one way to get steelbooks is to pre-order the deluxe edition or the unique collector's edition, and a lot of them come with steelbooks, but I don't want to buy a $200 collector's edition just to get a steelbook. So I've been on Facebook Marketplace, I've been on GameStop, and so when I go into those places and I see a unique case, I almost buy the game specifically for that, especially if it's reasonable. So I want to talk to you guys about some of the steelbooks that I've collected and other game cases that are kind of unique to my own personal collection. So in no particular order, the very first steelbook I have is Medal of Honor Warfighter. Now again, this is just a really cool steelbook. I mean, they just have that metallic finish on them, they're shiny, they're metal, that's why they're called steelbooks, and they just look really cool, and this is just something that I've really enjoyed collecting for. Xbox 360 game here, and it's just cool. I got this for $5. $5 I got this for. So again, just one of those cool steelbooks. Haven't even played the game yet. I know, what a poser. Oh man, I'm getting called that a lot lately. So next up is a Square Enix classic, Tomb Raider. Now, the original Tomb Raiders were great, and the remakes have been really, really well received, and this is just like a journal of sorts. You open it up and it has the Lara Croft Pictures 20th anniversary of Tomb Raider, and then it has like some pictures. It just really has some cool art, and you can go through. It's just unique to have this. Like, we don't really have game manuals anymore. That's a big problem with modern gaming, is there's no manuals. So this kind of takes the place of that and kind of gives you a art and a little bit of background of the company, and then obviously the game is packed in there as well. But it's just a really cool kind of paper bound journal looking case instead of your traditional PS4 case. My next one is a modern remake of a classic game. That's Resident Evil 3. Now, the cover is awesome. You have Nemesis in the front, Jill Valentine on the back. Again, metallic cover, all steelbooks are really cool. Nothing inside that it came with, but just the game and just a background of Raccoon City. So Raccoon City there with just a cool Resident Evil 3 steelbook. Definitely one of my newest favorites. So my next one actually is probably one of my first or second steelbooks. It's Final Fantasy 15. Now I got this, it was like a buy two, get one free at GameStop. And when I saw this, it was the same price as a normal Final Fantasy 15. And so I picked it up, and this is really cool because the art reminds me of like Never-Ending Story. It just looks really cool. It's not as shiny or metallic, but it just has a really, really cool art style. It wraps around from the front to the back. It even goes on the inside a little bit. And then you have a full CG movie, Kingslayer, on DVD, as well as the full game. So if you're gonna get it, why not get the full kind of deluxe edition Final Fantasy 15 in the steelbook? One of the coolest steelbooks I have, and one of the coolest ones I've seen with the art style. Next up is a classic game, Super Mario Odyssey. Now this isn't necessarily a really unique case, but it's the bonus. It comes with the Traveler's Guide, so this is really cool because you get a Traveler's Guide built into the game as well as the normal Switch case. So the case itself is not unique, but having the box with the Traveler's Guide is really, really cool. I just can't stand how modern games don't have anything. I want to read some of the lore without having to go online. I want a backstory. I don't care if it's a 3-page manual with a few basic buttons, a little bit of backstory, and just a bio of the main character. I don't think I'm asking too much. If it's $59.99 for the game, raise the price to $60.99. I'll pay $1. I'll pay $1 for a manual if I have to. It's that important, and I think gamers would agree. I think it's time for like a revolution. I'm gonna go ahead and put like a poll up. I mean, seriously, would we pay $1 for a game manual? It's part of collecting. So I love this because it has the manual inside. Next up is Assassin's Creed Origins, an Xbox One game here. And again, just got this specifically for the Steelbook. Super cool. I mean, obviously you have the classic picture on the front, and then you have the, I forget the name of what kind of like animal this is, but anyway, just that old school Egyptian looking, it's not a pharaoh, whatever it's called. I'm not going to sit here and look like too much of an idiot. I'm doing enough as it is. And then this has obviously the Xbox One Season Pass, and just some information. But again, not a manual, but just the game. Love the way it looks. Love the Assassin's Creed art style. The Assassin's Creed's games are so much fun as they are. And I got a little burnt out on them because I played so many, but the new Valhalla looks pretty dang good. Moving on to a game that I said I wasn't going to get. Making a liar out of us all. Death Stranding. Now, I bought this because I found it on Facebook Marketplace for like $35, and it was the Steelbook edition, so I had to get it. Now, this Steelbook is very, very basic. Death Stranding just says a Hideo Kojima game. It's got Norman Reedus in the front, covered in mud and a little bit of camo, it looks like, and then the back it just says Kojima Productions. Very simple Steelbook, but again, it's a Steelbook. And then this one really doesn't have much going on other than it just tells you can use this code to download your free MP3 audio files for the Death Stranding game. Haven't done that, but again, I wanted this for the Steelbook, and then now I'm probably going to be forced to play the damn game because I bought it. I'm just not big into running simulators. I'm not big into running or walking in general. I'd rather ride a scooter. Okay, I think this, if it wasn't Final Fantasy 15, this was most definitely the very first Steelbook I got. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Now, we have a place called Trade a Game here, and I'm going to do a little, I'll go in there and do some filming and show you guys what local game store it is. But this is a cool place. Trade a Game, you actually have different levels on your games. And when you trade a game in, let's say it's a level 3, and you trade it for another level 3 game, you only pay $5. So if you have a newer game that came out and you trade it in, you're not going to get ripped off. You can trade it in for another newer game and pay $5. The company, Trade a Game, makes $5 on your trade-in, and they get a game in return. So they don't rip off the consumer on our side, and they get to continuously get their stockpile built up because people are trading in games. And if you get a level 3 game and trade it in for a level 2, it's actually a wash. It's free. So isn't that pretty cool to trade a game in? And if the game that you want is maybe 2 years older and the game that you bought is 6 months old, you can trade it in and pay nothing except maybe like 25 cents for sales tax or something. So anyway, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, really cool Steelbook, but really the company that I got it from, Trade a Game, is really, really cool. So I really like that system of trading a game in and not getting $10 for the game and paying $30, but trading a game in and paying $5, or if you trade a lower game in, you want a higher one, you pay like 10 or 15. So it's actually still a really good trade-off for most gamers. Next up is Dishonored. I bought this game again, specifically for the Steelbook. It was on sale on Facebook Marketplace. I say on sale, like Facebook has sales. It was a fairly cheap, I think I paid $10 for this on Facebook Marketplace. Dishonored 2, I think it's actually free on PS Plus, but I'm way more bit into physical. I do not really care for digital. Obviously, PS Plus games that are free, I'll take them, but I'd much rather have the Steelbook or the physical copy. So again, this is a great little Steelbook. The art on the front actually is the same as the art on the back, which, you know, it's not disappointing. It's just unique they use the same art on both sides, but hey, who am I to judge? I'm just happy I got it. Next up is a game that actually isn't a Steelbook. It's barely even unique, but it's Bioshock The Collection, which is a great collection, by the way. But I like that it came in a sleeve. So a little paper sleeve with some kind of 3D, the bumpy graphics in the front, with a basic PS4 case. But hey, I'll take a sleeve, even if it's pretty basic, okay? I like the sleeve. And then this actually faked me out a little bit, because when I got it, I opened it up, and I was like, oh, a couple DVDs, cool. You know, you got a couple DVDs on here, 2 different discs. And then there was the Bioshock The Collection. I thought, oh, am I actually going to get a manual? So you open it up and see important health and safety warnings in the setting? How to start the game? What? Are you serious? Like, it tells you how to start the game. So we can't get manuals. We're going to get an instruction manual on how to start your PS4 in most games. Yeah, that's useful. Said no one ever. And my last Steelbook is the newest one. A game that I put a few hours in, and then I found Call of Duty Warzone, and I haven't gone back to it since. And that's Final Fantasy VII. One of the greatest RPGs ever made, at least for the PS1. Haven't gotten through this one yet. Enjoying it so far. And this is such a, I'm going to say beautiful, such a simple and elegant Steelbook. The cover, basic. Final Fantasy VII with just the simple art that everybody knows, but then you turn it over and it's like, oh yeah, Sephiroth. One of my favorite villains in all of gaming. I love villains. They're the best. Anybody who is a troll in a game, I'm all about that. I always want the villains to win. I like the bad guys. Sephiroth is the pimp daddy. Probably not from Cincinnati, but I love Sephiroth. So anyway, Final Fantasy VII Steelbook, really cool. Again, a couple different discs here. One of them actually is just the install disc, and the other one is the actual play disc, which is crazy. All right, so there you have it. My latest kind of gaming obsession is collecting Steelbooks in different cases. Now, I'm not going completely out of my way to get some of these Steelbooks, but if I'm in a store and there's a Steelbook, I'm gonna check the price on it. And if it's overpriced, I'll probably pass. But if it's within my budget and what I'm looking for, I'll definitely buy it. And typically, I don't buy a ton of games just to have them. I mean, I have a lot of games that I need to play. That's the truth. But I do plan on playing them at some point. But if there's a Steelbook, I might be buying that just to have it in my collection. I do have one more Steelbook. It's Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, right over there. The problem is that complete collector's edition is unopened. I know, who buys a collector's edition doesn't open it? This guy. Okay, I bought it to do an unboxing and I was too late by the time I got it, and I thought, what the heck? And then I got the game already on the PS4 and I beat it, so don't judge me, all right? Don't be judging. All right, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you like the content, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I put these videos out every Friday around 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, in Tampa Bay, I'm a Seahawks fan, but my son loves Tom Brady, so we got matching shirts. Ain't that cute? Keep trolling, keep rolling. See you guys next week.